A show that tackles the big issues affecting the BVI and the rest of the Caribbean. Searches for answers to today's big questions and gives viewers a unique perspective on developing stories. Follow the big story with me, Kathy Richards, only on JTV. This show is brought to you by the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Cyril B. Ramney Tertola Pier Park, NV Salon Spa Nail and Barbershop, the Wellness Center, Medical and Behavioral Health Clinics, Ticely Cross Deliciously Smooth Cider, HOV Medical, and Digicel. Sign up for Digicel Plus Home Light Bundles, faster internet, movies, and sports. This is The Big Story. I'm Kathy Richards. I want to thank you so much for joining us for today's edition. On set with me is Zara Whitley, very close to the Hong Kong office, having worked there and familiar with what they do there. She's going to be talking with us about an interesting program. And we have here, more than supported ever anything tourism, Mr. Clive McCoy, Director of the BVI Tourist Board and the Film Commission. We're going to get right into it. We understand that a scholarship program would have started by the Hong Kong office in 2021. This means that this is its 21, 22, the third year. Yes. Zara, give us a little background as to what this program is about.
So the BVI Asia Study Abroad program is a three-way partnership between elite universities in Asia, the government of the Virgin Islands, and the private sector, and it's aimed at providing our students or BVI landers opportunities to study in Asia. It's the brainchild of the director, Dr. Ricardo Wheatley, and it was aimed at providing more offering at the BVI Hong Kong office, and also to provide wider educational opportunities for our BVI landers. So whereas persons are more used to studying at westernized institutions, whether that's in the USA or Europe and London, the Asia Abroad program aims to more or less globalize their thinking and globalize their experience so that they have a more holistic view of the world and what they can offer back to the BVI.
That means they would have noticed a gap in terms of how we deal with the tourism industry.
Well, a gap in not only the tourism industry, but all industries, really, all fields of study where you only get more or less one perspective of how things function or how the world functions. I think one of the interesting things about Asia, I know people may have seen China is a very big topic. They have a very different way of, or different very approach to a number of initiatives or projects or thinking as well. So it's just to fill that thinking gap, fill that academic gap and experience gap.
Make sure that we cover all areas, so we grab everything.
More or less.
And Mr. McCoy, whenever we talk anything about studying or doing anything in the tourism field, this is something that really keeps your heart pumping because it's where your passion lies.
Yes. Look, Kathy, there's a saying, if you're not at the table, then you're on the menu. And here is an opportunity for BVI landers to be at the table in an industry that is set for a boom. At this time, we can see the numbers coming into the territory. We can see the appetite for the destination becoming stronger and stronger and more robust. And the school, from what I read, is number 10 in China, number 10 around the world, number 1 in China, number 1 in Macao. So what is happening here is that we're offering a world-class opportunity for BVI landers in an industry that is set to be booming. We want BVI landers to be at the table. And here is the opportunity. I'm so excited about it. When I was growing up, these opportunities weren't there, and I've always been passionate about tourism, and I know that there's persons out there that are passionate about tourism as well. Listen, parents, speak to your young adults. If you're married, you have a spouse, speak to your significant other about this wonderful opportunity to be a part of the tourism industry. Tourism is our bread and butter. And here is an opportunity for us, BVI landers, to take that first step to becoming, the full control of the industry. So we're just simply excited about it, and we're hopeful that persons see this opportunity and take advantage of it. Opportunity doesn't come around all the time. You know, you snooze, you lose. That's what they say. And we don't want BVI to snooze in this opportunity. It is there. It's there for the taking. Take advantage. Let's make the BVI not just the sailing capital of the world, but the tourism capital of the world.
Oh, wow.
And this is a first step in making that happen.
Now, so when you said if you're not at the table, you're on the menu, and then you refer to yourself not having these kind of opportunities available to you when you were. So in my mind, all I'm seeing is now we stop laminating the menus. We seal and have you locked off one end, and we're now printing it and leaving it open. So in the AI and the technology world, we're seeing those ingredients come off the menu and going into the wider world and exploring it. What's the interest you have been seeing, not just for this program, but the passion that you have been seeing from people, children who are now in their final years of school, those who are in the college and coming out or would have just left? What are you seeing in that space in terms of their interest in different fields of tourism?
I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the passion for the industry rise in terms of persons being interested in being a part of it. I have a lot of young people that come and ask me how can they be a part of it. A lot of it is just education and letting them know, like, hey, these are some of the opportunities that you can have. Many persons, they don't see that they could be in top level positions here in the British Virgin Islands when it comes to tourism. And I want to say that the top level positions are there, but you have to take advantage of opportunities like this to make yourself skillful. We need the human resources on the ground here in the BVI, and the time is now to start taking advantage of these things so that in 10, 15 years down the line, the British Virgin Islands can be the benchmark for excellence for tourism around the world. And you see the interest is there, and this type of opportunity allows for persons to see what is out there and what the opportunities are. I can't tell you, how excited I am about this. This is just an amazing opportunity, something that I'm hopeful and I'm prayerful that the people of the BVI take advantage of. It's almost, I'm a firm believer in faith. And at this time, it just seems like this is falling right in place, right before we take off as a territory. So take advantage, people. It is there for you. And I'm encouraging you, if you have any more questions, you can reach out to myself, you can reach out to the young lady. We'll be able to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay. And I want to bounce off of him to you, being a young person, having had the experience in that wider world. What has it done for you, and what has piqued your interest that caused you to be out there that quite a number of your peers may not have experienced or even know about?
I'm quite unique, and I have a very unique way of thinking. So I just like exploring, and I like traveling, and I like adventure. So I think what piques my interest most about this opportunity is being able to be in a place where I can do all those things. It's a very diverse region. The cuisine in China is different from Thailand, it's different from Vietnam, and it's very easy to travel to those places and quite cheap.
You've been?
I haven't been all the way to Vietnam.
Okay.
However, the furthest I've probably gone is Russia.
Okay.
And one of the key things about it that I find most appealing for students is that it's quite cheap to travel within those places. Much like when you're in London and you can travel, you can get a train to Paris, you could get a train to Spain. I had a great experience doing that, and it also piqued my flavor and understanding of how different people might exercise their tourism product or exercise their knowledge of tourism. So I think this also provides that same opportunity, but from a different perspective.
And now to the direct scholarship now.
Yes.
It's a big market. It's a whole lot of people who are going to be showing interest. I am very hopeful and optimistic. But there are only two.
Yes.
Two persons are going to be successful. What are the requirements for me to apply, and how?
So yes, so we currently have two scholarship opportunities for tourism and hospitality at the Macao Institute for Tourism and Hospitality. As Mr. McCoy rightly said, it's ranked #1 in Macao, ranked #1 in Asia, and ranked #10 globally for hospitality and leisure. So it's definitely one of the elite top universities that we have. And we have an opportunity for an undergraduate study, so a bachelor's degree, and one for the postgraduate degree, the master's program. Now, to apply, you only need to be a BVI lander or a BVI permanent resident. And for the undergraduate program, you need to have a high school diploma. You need to have a high school diploma or currently be enrolled in either sixth form or your 12th grade. Okay. For the master's program, on the other hand, you need a bachelor's degree and have in the field of either tourism and hospitality, leisure, hotel management, or anything of the like. To be able to qualify to get in. And then you go through the process of getting interviewed by the scholarship panel. So,
okay. So the persons have to apply to the university first before they can apply to you for the scholarship?
It's a dual approach. So you apply through the scholarship program, the BVI Asia Abroad Scholarship Program, and I think that's just direct contact with the director. And then you also apply directly to the university as well. For persons that are interested in learning more about this, they have the webinar that's coming up on Thursday the 15th at 8 p.m. BVI time. And it's hosted by the BVI Hong Kong office and officials from the university. So you get to ask all the questions about the application process and what you may need in advance of your application.
So the persons who would, what's the duration of the scholarship?
The program, the undergraduate programs tend to be the same, so 3-year program. And the master's, I believe, maybe one year, but possibly 2, I'm not quite sure.
Okay, so the person who would have done the master program that started in 21 would have already completed at least, and the undergraduate would now be in their finals, if not done. Yes. Have you guys had the opportunity to interact or speak with those persons to know what that experience is or was like?
For the last cycle, because really it didn't kick up until 2022, so it would have been just last year. So we haven't had any persons that have completed the program as yet. However, from my understanding, we have had 2 successful applicants. Well, they've received offers from their university to attend the summer 2023. I'm fingers crossed that their interview went well. I hope I'm at liberty to say that happened. So this will be our first cohort, and hopefully we get enough feedback to have more persons become interested in the program.
I know this would have been a question directly for Dr. Whitley, but you've been so close to this program. I guess every step of the way he is in contact with you and the others around you, so that you can maximize. And what's the possibility of it opening up for more students?
Oh no, there's definitely room for more students. I think the most important thing is to get persons aware of the program, because I think a lot of people aren't aware. We also had the challenge of academic requirements to get into some of the universities, but we've overcome that now. So as we see with the Macao Institute of Tourism and Hospitality, they're now accepting just your high school diploma. Which is good. So I think as the program goes, as we put more information out there, as more persons participate in what we have to offer, more persons will apply slowly. It's much like when I was going to school in London, it was just a few of us, and then all of a sudden it blossomed into this whole
big ceremony.
So I think it definitely has room to grow, and I definitely see it on the horizon.
To both of you, starting with you, Clive, I was really happy to hear. Normally we would hear partnerships, a government and a direct institution or organization. What we're hearing now, this is a triangle affair where we're having the government, we're having the private sector, and we're having this university collaborating to make this possible. Tell us about the involvement of the private sector to even beyond scholarships like these.
Well, Kathy, tourism can't exist without the private sector. And for my dream of us being the tourism capital of the world, we're going to have to work closely with them, the hotels, the restaurants, even some of the trust companies here in the BVI, to support all endeavors that are tourism. So the fact that this program is involving all entities shows a massive step in terms of us involving all matrix parts of the tourism sector so we can thrive as a tourism destination. So it's a wonderful setup that we have here, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
Zara, is it a one company that's in the private sector that is collaborating with this, or it's a group that are putting their resources together to make it possible?
I think the vision is to have it's going to be a group of stakeholders collaborating to help facilitate the program. The scholarship offering covers free tuition. That's where the elite universities come in. They give us a guaranteed space. And then the partnership between the government and the private sector then work together to fill the gap to provide housing and travel, etc. for students that are joining the program.
And what is required of the students to fund for themselves? I know in most of these instances, it's never all on a golden platter. You have to make your contributions.
The contributions, well, students can apply for housing grants. Okay. However, they would have to fill whatever gap is left from that cost. Luckily, it's relatively cheap to live as a student in Asia, so it's not too big of a gap as you would if you were studying in the US or in Europe. So they would fill that gap, and I think the government covers air travel, etc. But these are all big questions you can ask at the webinar on Thursday. Yes, at the webinar on Thursday.
So in wrapping up, run it for us one more time as a recap: where, when, why, how, and for you, Mr. McCoy, the big benefits of this.
Of course.
Do you want to go?
Well, look, the opportunity, as I mentioned, is there, and we are thrilled that it has come to fruition, and we're hopeful that persons take advantage of it. Tourism is our bread and butter here in the BVI. And if you doubt it, you don't need to go too far back in your memory to understand what it was like when our borders were closed. As much as financial services is there, you could feel the energy in the place not being what it was, what it needed to be. The economy suffered. So we understand how important tourism is to the British Virgin Islands, and these type of programs, this wonderful program, and it's free, which is unbelievable, are what are going to make us a cut above all other destinations around the world. And it starts with 2. Next year it could be 4.
Yes.
The next year is 6. And next thing you know, here in the BVI, we have a cadre of tourism professionals that elevate us to a level that you and I can't probably even see. So, people at the BVI, take a look at this. It's important that you do for us to move forward as a territory.
And there's no age limit, right?
No, there's no age limit.
No age limit, okay. So to get on the webinar, that's on the 15th, how do I get to participate?
So just to recap again, so the BVI Hong Kong office, through their Asia Abroad program, is offering scholarship opportunities for tourism and hospitality at the Macao Institute for Tourism and Hospitality. It's very key that persons sign up to the webinar on the 15th of June, which is Thursday, and you can register for that via Teams link. Persons can always message the BVI Hong Kong office Facebook page, which is very responsive, to get the link. It's also all over our media. Or however, you can also reach out to Mr. McCoy or myself. All the information that you might want to get is going to be in this webinar. We have officials from the university and persons from the Hong Kong office. The deadline for the university is going to be July 10th, so persons interested in the bachelor's or master's degree program, it is essential that you get onto this webinar as soon as possible. And that's pretty much...
Looking forward to it. Yeah. I'm hoping to hear you message me, Kathy. Hey, it was phenomenal, the amount of persons who logged on to that webinar, and I wish this program every success. And I am very optimistic that our young people especially are going to grab onto this. Those who have a passion for it and not necessarily consider the young people will do so, because the opportunities are there. Clive, Sarah. Thank you so much for taking time out to share with us. Thanks for your passion as a young person, because sometimes it takes the like
Yeah.
to reach the target. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining us for this edition of The Big Story.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most, for you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
Everyone looks to the future, but no one truly knows what the future holds.
The number of people under the age of 20 with type 2 diabetes could increase by 49% by 2050. Let it be known that we all have a 30% chance of developing hypertension.
Globally, more than 300 million people of all ages suffer from depression.
More than 60,000 young adults aged 20 to 39 are diagnosed with cancer each year. Obesity leads to problems such as stroke, heart disease, and kidney failure.
No matter your race, age, or color, we are all at risk.
These diseases can be managed or prevented if caught early.
But with the right medicine and the right doctors to keep us on a path to live a robust and healthy life,
We will live well.
Opiate. Hi, I'm Cowboy, and I'm running for president of Steak. Thank you. And I will meet your needs. Some bathrooms are so expensive to build, they come with security. But at Staycation Butchers, our meats are affordable. People always ask me, Cowboy, where does your salmon come from? Well, our salmon comes from the water. I vote for Cowboy as a vote for quality, integrity, and consistency. So come into Staycation Butchers and cast your vote for me, your next president of steak. Alexandra Durant approves this message.
No, I don't.
Plug into Digicel Plus and get even more entertainment with Disney Plus included. The best of Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and National Geographic all in one place. Whenever you want, plug into Plus to enjoy Disney Plus and much more with a home fiber bundle. Sign up today. Digicel Plus.